Hey guys, welcome to the last episode of Getting Geography series. But don't fret, send suggestions for content in through the comments below. Today our topic is about how to answer a geography exam. As you can see here, I promised in one of my first episodes of the Getting Geography series to explain to all of you how to answer climograph questions. Now, here's how to answer it. Climographs involve mostly temperature and rainfall, and these are the kinds of terms you can use to describe temperature and rainfall. During the exam, if they ask you about questions to describe temperature and relative humidity, you must immediately know that both are inversely related, and geography is a lot about data, so please use data from the graph, including the highest and lowest temperature, the highest and lowest relative humidity, and the months or the days if provided in the graph. During the exam, there are also such things that you have to look out for, which are called command words. So what are command words? Essentially, they are hints in the question that hint what they want you to answer. For example, for describe, it is to merely put down in words, basically articulating what you can see from the diagram or the article or the source that you are given. For explain, you have to explain why is it so. For example, if a source is a diagram about cloud formation, you have to explain how does cloud formation work and why this diagram holds true. Identification, very simple, just one word. Calculate, you have to use your calculator for obvious reasons. For comparing, remember to use comparing words, just like in my handling history series. Some comparing words can be on the other hand, similarly. Comparing questions are very similar to those compare and contrast questions in history as well. For drawing and illustrating, make sure you draw clearly, label clearly, and include all the keywords that are needed in your diagram. Some diagrams that you need to know how to draw are cloud formation, I think rainfall, and if you're not sure, and local winds, which are sea breeze and land breeze. If you're not sure how to draw, I have them in one of my videos. You can just search up clouds and rain, or you can just search up wind for my Getting Geography video about how to draw those diagrams as well. So now let's move on to answering essay questions. So similar to lower secondary history, you have an introduction, a given factor, two other factors, and the last part, which is your conclusion, also known as your weighing. For answering essay questions, introduction is optional but highly encouraged. In your introduction, just very straightforward, state your given factor and your two other factors, give a bit of background about the question. For example, if they say that cattle ranching is the main cause of deforestation, just say, today in my essay I'm going to talk about how cattle ranching is one of the reasons for deforestation, and my two other factors are mining and for medicinal benefits or economic benefits. And then you can start with your given factor. So step 2, write your given factor, explain using your knowledge and add your statistics that you should have memorized before the exam. Very, very specific ideas that you have to include. For example, case studies of Brazil, how many tons of wood have they cut down, how many percent of the rainforest have they cut down, and what's the demand of beef for cattle ranching in this case. And remember to use your memorized case studies, don't let them go to waste. Step 3, write your other factor 1 and your other factor 2. So for these two paragraphs, similar to the given factor, explain using your knowledge and add statistics and very, very specific ideas, and remember to use your memorized case studies as well. So remember to add statistics, that's really, really very, very important. Numbers, okay? And the last step is weighing. So similar to history is the most important part, to give you your highest band of the LOMS, and you have to use concepts such as the built environment in space to help you to do weighing. For example, your geographical concepts, what is more important, space, what are the impacts, economical, social, you all have to weigh what are the costs and what are the impacts. Are the gains more than the losses? So you have to think about that when you're doing your weighing. So that's all for today's episode, and the discount code here is at the bottom of your screen in bold. And see you in my next series. Tschüss!